What's up everyone, Humble Farmer Taiki here, and today I want to go over how to stake your Dime to receive the staking yield and also potentially receive airdrops. So let's get right into it. So the Dime token launched yesterday and it's currently trading at $6.24. Pretty insane. At the current price, the FDV is 6.2 and the market cap is roughly 900 million. So it's definitely up there in terms of valuation. Can I go higher? Yes. Can I go lower? Yes. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen to the price. I've been recommending people, hey, like if you were planning to buy this thing right in the first couple of days, then it's probably best to stick to your plan. If you're planning to sell this thing, sell your airdrop in the first couple of days, then you should stick to the plan. Once tokens start trading, it's easy to be swayed one way or the other with FOMO or like FUD, right? But I think it's best to just stick to whatever plan that you made ahead of this Dime token launch and just deal with the consequences moving forward, right? That's probably like the best way to think about it. I'm not going to do any price predictions, but I am bullish DYM. We've written about it extensively at HFA Research a couple weeks ago, right? I mentioned the next layer of the modular stack, and also in my Farms of the Week videos. I mean, I've talked about Dymension for the past month and a half, so it's fair to say that I'm bullish. If you want to learn the fundamental bull case for DYM, make sure to watch this video, and like where Dymension fits into the modular stack. I think the best way to think about it is in the Ethereum ecosystem, we have EigenLayer, right? They're going to probably launch in Q2 or Q3. EigenDA, they're going to focus on data availability. ETH is going to focus on settlement and all the execution and all the usage. ETH people, they wanted to go to L2s, Arbitrum, Optimism, etc. The problem is that with all these siloed L2s, liquidity is fragmented and the user experience isn't that great. So then Celestia says, okay, like we'll also focus on data availability, and then Dymension is focusing on settlement. And then Dymension is IBC compatible, so anyone that like any L2s or role apps, application-specific blockchains that launch on top of that Dymension stack can share liquidity with one another. So that's the primary improvement that Dymension offers relative to, I guess, the current ETH scaling roadmap. I'm not saying that ETH and L2s are dead. I think they can both coexist, and for that reason, I am both bullish ETH. I'm bullish EigenLayer. I'm generally bullish L2s, I suppose, but also I'm bullish TIA and DYM. So that's kind of like the way to think about it. And I guess to prove like that I'm bullish both TIA and Dime, I am dropping a validator for both Celestia and Dymension. And I do want to go over how to, I guess, get your airdrop and how to stake and the narrative around the airdrop staking, right? Or like stake Dime for airdrops. So first of all, a reminder that you do not need to claim your airdrop. This is a literal airdrop where if you got it, then it's airdropped directly to your wallet. There's going to be a lot of scammers that's going to be impersonating like myself or other like big accounts to say, hey, like if you want to get more free tokens, then sign this transaction, right? Go to this random website and sign some transaction. I mean, they're all scammers, right? Just be really careful. Whenever people make a bunch of money, naturally scammers will try to impersonate people, impersonate accounts, and try to they take your money. So just always be careful. Always double check. Always take a moment to pause whenever you're signing a transaction and make sure that you're on the right website, you're in the right URL. So just best practices there, and you always use a hardware wallet. So Dymension is an EVM compatible chain. So in terms of onboarding, there's less friction than having to download a Kepler wallet or a Leap wallet. If you want to add Dymension to your MetaMask, all you have to do is go to chainlist.org, look up Dymension, and just connect your wallet and say add to MetaMask. This is probably the easiest way to do it. There's that. There are going to be a bunch of RPC issues because everyone is trying to use the network right now. And sometimes I've had this issue where I have all these wallets that should have received Dime, but it showed a 0 on my MetaMask. If you want to check, you can go to dym.fyi, which is the block explorer for Dymension, and just input your wallet. And then it should show how much Dime you have in your wallet, and then how much Dime that you have staked. So I'll talk about our validator, which is HFA and DeFi Dojo. This is in collaboration with Steven, the calculator guy. I'm sure you know him, right? In his community, and we are essentially white labeling our validator with Friends. So Friends is one of the organizers for Cosmoverse, which is the yearly Cosmos event, and they've been offering staking services for various Cosmos chains for the past couple of years. So if you want to, I guess, check our tech, make sure to, I'll link this in the description below so if you're interested. They have a history of 99% uptime. They're all doxed. They have a YouTube channel with tutorials, and they also do really, really good content. That's how it goes. So let's talk about staking, and I guess the airdrop narrative. So if you want to stake, you have to go to portal.dimension.xyz and then go to the staking tab here. Okay, and connect your wallet at the top right, and just you can stake with any validator. When you're staking, in terms of best practices, typically it's best to stake with people outside the top 10. First of all, for decentralization purposes, but also in the Cosmos, in the history of like Atom staking in Cosmos, there have been instances where anyone that staked outside the top 10 got extra airdrops. I don't know. There's no way to know, right? There's like no airdrops confirmed and whatnot. So there's like no way to know. But I think it's best to just stake outside the top 10. Always do your research on like who you're staking with. Yes, I do have HFA and DeFi Dojo here, right? We were number 22. So thank you everyone for your support. But let's say you have 10 wallets of DYM that you want to stake. Maybe it makes sense to, let's say, like take 5 validators and allocate 2 wallets per validator, just to diversify and whatnot. Also for decentralization purposes, I think those are best practices. But if you do want to stake with us, all you have to do is click stake, and then just input however many DYM you want to stake with. Note that if you stake and you want to unstake, you have to wait 21 days. So what I'm doing is that I am bullish DYM. So I'll be diamond handing, right? There's like a meme, right? Diamond hands, right? DYM, diamond hands. I'll be diamond handing, like most of my airdrops and like staking via my validator, other validators. But also keep some liquid in case I do want to take profits. So whenever you're airdrop farming, if you don't sell your airdrops, then you're not really realizing profits. And like I mentioned, I am bullish DYM, but I have no idea how to value this thing. There's reasons to believe that I can go higher. But maybe I'm biased. I'm definitely biased. So make sure to read a lot about Dymension. If you want to read a bull case, like I mentioned, I have video content. But if you want to read the bear case, I'm sure that there's a bunch of people on Twitter that thinks that it's like a scam or something. But to each their own. If you stake, you might get this error. So that the Dymension RPC client was unable to broadcast the transaction. Please try again later. So I had this issue yesterday where I would stake a bunch of DYM and I got this error. But 10-15 minutes later, my DYM was staked. So just understand that RPCs are clogged. Chain's very slow right now. So just be patient. I'm sure it'll get better in the next couple of days or next couple of weeks. But there's that. Right now, if you stake your DYM, you're receiving a 50% APR. Of course, as more and more people stake, the staking APR goes down. And I think it'll probably, normalize around 15 to 20%. That's currently my prediction. And let's also talk about the airdrops narrative. So I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous around the whole stake DYM for airdrops because nothing is confirmed. And in my past videos, I've talked about it. And it's pure speculation, right? Nothing is confirmed. And the reason I think it's going to happen is because, like I mentioned, Dymension, is the settlement layer, and they're dropping this RDK, the roll-up development kit, which makes it easier for developers to deploy new roll apps. And the narrative around Dymension is that Dymension does to roll apps, so app-specific blockchains, what Ethereum did to ERC20s and NFTs. So now, right, using ETH, anyone can launch a token, anyone can drop an NFT. And Dymension is creating this RDK, and that makes it easy for developers to just create new roll apps. And on testnet, this is from yesterday's video, there are 1,000 roll apps listed and 14,000 deployed on testnet. So most of these, right, are just people just deploying to airdrop farm, and I would say 99% of them are not real, right? But the 1%, I'm sure, maybe we'll see some Ethereum applications migrate from ETH to Dymension, right? Instead of using Ether for settlement, why not use Dymension for settlement? Of course, everything has its trade-offs. Using ETH for settlement is more secure, it's more decentralized, but it's up to the developer. For example, app chains like Lyra and Avo have already moved away from using Ethereum for data availability because it's way too expensive. And now they're using Celestia for data availability. So I think over time, more and more projects should consider using Dymension for settlement, but it's going to take time. I think it's unreasonable to expect, hey, like buy and stake Dime and receive hundreds of airdrops every day for the next 1,000 days, right? I mean, that's really unreasonable. If the airdrop narrative materializes, chances are it's going to take at least a few weeks. Even for Celestia, right? People that stake Celestia, the first airdrop they got was Dymension, which is February. And Celestia launched mainnet in November, so it took 3 months. So, just be patient. And for that reason, maybe, Dime. Right now, the hype is very strong on Dymension, but maybe it can go lower. I'm not trading around this event. I have this general investment thesis around monolithic and modular, and I'm pretty heavily exposed to the ETH stack, and I guess the modular narrative there. But I think for me personally, right, I can only speak for myself. But I think I wanted to diversify my exposure because ETH isn't perfect, right? Maybe they don't have a strong emote that a lot of the ETH maxis believe in, right, and tell you. So I have some monolithic exposure, and I also have the modular, other modular exposure, right, hedging against my Ethereum bags by betting on Celestia, by betting on Dymension. If I'm wrong, then I lose money. If I'm right, then the USD value might go up and I might receive airdrops. How long will it take? I have no idea, right? I've been wrong on so many things before, so make sure to not, don't only listen to me. Maybe read our research articles, maybe watch my bull case videos, but also, take the other side, right? Listen to people that are bearish, understand why they're bearish, understand why people are bullish, and then make your own decisions. I can't make you buy anything. I can't make you sell anything. I can't make you stake anything. All I can do is to make educational content. And that's my only, commitment in terms of my YouTube channel, right? So, hopefully this is, hopefully this video was somewhat useful in terms of how to stake, why you should stake, and considerations for who you stake with, and yeah, we'll see, right? We'll see. So, I'll personally be Dime enhancing most of my airdrops. I'll keep some liquid for full transparency. But I will say that I am bullish. So, thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the bye-bye.